everybody, welcome to our section 5.8 lecture video on the geometric applications of Pythagorean Theorem and square roots. So we're going to start out with square roots. So square roots are the opposite of squaring something. Squaring something, of course, is multiplying a number by itself. So if you have a number like 1 times 1, which would be 1, then the square root of 1 would be 1. You're going backwards. 2 squared, 2 times 2 would be 4, which means that the square root of 4 would be 2. See how we're going backwards here? We're saying what number times itself equals 4? That number is 2. That's what square rooting is doing. So we're going to make a nice little chart here all the way up through 20 to help you guys out with your homework this week. So let's see, 3 squared, 3 times 3 is 9. That means that the square root of 9 would be 3. 4 squared is 4 times 4, which is 16. And that means that the square root of 16 would be 4. 5 squared is 5 times 5, which is 25. And that means that the square root of 25 would be 5. 6 squared, 6 times 6, is 36. Which means that the square root of 36 is 6. 7 squared is 7 times 7, which is 49, and that means that the square root of 49 would be 7. 8 times 8 is 8 squared, which is 64, which means that the square root of 64 would be 8. 9 squared is 9 times 9, which is 81, which means that the square root of 81 is 9. And 10 squared, 10 times 10 is 100, which means that the square root of 100 would be 10. Alright, let's keep on going. These ones you may not know, but we're going to get there. 11 squared is 11 times 11, which is 121. And this means that the square root of 121 is 11. 12 squared is 12 times 12, which is 144. And that means that the square root of 144 is 12. 13 squared is 13 times 13, which is 169. And that means that the square root of 169 would be 13. 14 squared is 14 times 14, which would be 196. And that means that the square root of 196 is 14. 15 squared is 15 times 15, which would be 225, and that means that the square root of 225 is 15. 16 squared is 16 times 16, which is 256, so that means that the square root of 256 would be 16. 17 squared is 17 times 17, which is 289. So that means that the square root of 289 is 17. 18 squared is 18 times 18, which is 324, which means that the square root of 324 is 18. 19 squared is 19 times 19, which is 361, which means that the square root of 361 is 19. Last one, 20 squared is 20 times 20, which is 400, which means that the square root of 400 would be 20. So now you guys have a nice little reference chart to go back to as you're doing your homework. The first thing we're going to do is just find the square root of each. And these ones are exact square roots, and we can actually find them up above. So what is the square root of 64? Have it right here. The square root of 64 is 8. What is the square root of 121? Can you guys find that one? The square root of 121 is 11. Okay, so that's what you guys are going to be doing. These are exact square roots. I'm going to do one extra example. So we're going to call this example C. What if you have the square root of, let's say, 4 over 9? If you have a fraction like that, what you do is you take the square root of the numerator, the square root of the denominator, and and work it out that way. So the square root of 4 would be 2. The square root of 9 is 3. So the square root of 4/9 is 2/3. Okay, so that's how you deal with it if it's a fraction, is you just deal with them separately. We're going to take the square root of the numerator, the square root of the denominator, and go from there. Okay? The next thing in this section is the Pythagorean Theorem. So let's get started with that. So the Pythagorean Theorem, you guys might have heard of this one before, says that for right triangles, so this is only for right triangles, which are triangles that have a right angle. So for right triangles, a squared plus b squared equals c squared, where the a and the b value are the lengths of the legs, where a and b are lengths of the legs of the right triangle, and c is the length of the hypotenuse. Alright, so I have a nice right triangle pictured down here. So if you see where the right angle is, that's the one with the little box in it. The legs are on either side of the box. So on either side of the right angle, these are the legs. And it doesn't matter which one you decide is A and which one you decide is B, because addition is commutative, okay? So, you know, if you want the bottom one to be A, that's great. If you want this top one to be A, that's great. The hypotenuse is always across from the right angle. So if you find your right angle, look across, and that's where the hypotenuse is going to be. So your legs are your A and your B, hypotenuse is your C. All right? So let's try a few of these. In example 2, find the unknown length in each triangle. So if the value is not a perfect square, approximate the answer to the nearest tenth. So if it's a perfect square, we're just going to take the square root and have a great day. If it's not a perfect square, you get to use the square root button on your calculator. Okay? So let's give these a try. So in part A, I've got a right triangle. I know that because it has a right angle. One side is 3, another side is 4, and I'm missing this other side. I can see that this missing side is across from the right angle, so we are missing the hypotenuse in this one. We have our A and B, we're missing our hypotenuse. So I'm going to start out with my Pythagorean theorem, since it's a right triangle. A squared plus b squared equals c squared. I have my A and B, so I'll say that 4 is my A and 3 is my B, and if you did them the other way, we're going to end up in the same place, equals c squared. All right, from here, our normal order of operation kind of rules apply. I need to square things before I add them. You guys okay with that? I hope so. 4 squared is 16, 3 squared is 9, and 16 plus 9 would be 25. So now I've got 25 equals c squared. Then we want just c, right? We don't want c squared. The opposite of squaring something is square rooting it. It is not division or anything like that. It is square rooting. So I need to take the square root to get rid of that squaring. Whatever I do to one side, I need to do to both sides, because it's an equation and we want to stay in balance. So what's going to happen is the square root and the squaring cancel out. You're just left with a c. On the left side, I need to find the square root of 25, and I know that. That's a perfect square. The square root of 25 is 5. So my missing side is 5, and I can look over here and find my units. They're in feet. So my missing side is also in feet. My missing side is 5 feet long. All right. Let's do another one. The next one, I have 2 sides. I have one that's 15 and one that's 7. I have this bottom one that's missing. This time, am I missing the hypotenuse or am I missing a leg? I'm missing a leg in this one. And you can label this one A or B, whichever one you like better. Let's pretend like it's A. Okay? So this will be our B, and this one will be our C. I know that I already have my hypotenuse. It's across from the right angle. The 15 is my C. 7 is another one of my legs. Okay? With that information, I want you guys to take a second and see if you can set up your equation. Okay? I'm talking about our A squared plus B squared equals C squared equation. Pause your video, set up that equation. We're going to check it here. 3, 2, 1. You should have A squared plus 7 squared equals 15 squared. Alright, see if you can go from there to solving it. So pause your video again and see if you can solve your equation. And I will show you the answer here in 3, 2, 1. You should be squaring things first. 7 squared is 49. 15 squared is 225. To solve for A, we should be subtracting 49 from both sides. So that's going to end up with A squared equals 176. Then to get rid of the squaring, you should be square rooting, right? And 176 is not a perfect square, okay? So this one, we go back to our instructions. It says if the value is not a perfect square, 176 is not a perfect square, approximate that answer to the nearest tenth. So in your calculator, you're going to take the square root of 176. Most of the time with your little 4-function calculators, it involves typing 176 and then pushing the square root button. So try that. I'm going to use little wavy equal signs because it's not exactly equal. This is approximately. You should get about 13.3 as an answer. My other sides were in centimeters, so my side's in centimeters too. So you should get about 13.3 centimeters. Alright, let's try a word problem. A 9-foot ladder is placed against the wall of a building. If you want to reach a window that is 7 feet above the ground, how far away should you place the ladder? The first thing I say down here is draw a sketch that represents the situation. Because something like this, it's very visual. You know you're going to have some sort of a triangle, but it's hard sometimes to realize which sides you have. So draw a sketch when you're solving word problems that are visual like this, okay? So I've got a building, okay? And then I have this ladder that goes against the building. And this is the ground that the ladder is resting on. It says that the ladder is 9 feet long. So here's my ladder. The 9 feet goes with the ladder. So 9 feet is this side right here. We want to reach a window that's 7 feet above the ground. So here's my window. Okay. And I know that that window is 7 feet above the ground. So 7 feet would be this length right here. How far away should you place the ladder? So I would say that how far away from the building. So we're wondering from the building to the bottom of the ladder where you're standing. That's what we're looking for, okay? That's the missing side. That's supposed to be a question mark. Okay? So looking at my picture, I'm assuming that the building and the ground are perpendicular to each other, that my building's not leaning. So I have a right triangle. I have 2 sides and I'm missing a 3rd side. So which sides do I have? I have the hypotenuse and I have one of the legs, but I'm missing the other leg. Let's call that one A for, variable's sake. So we'll have A squared plus 7 squared equals 9 squared. Okay? Part B says to find that distance, so that's what we're going to do. We're going to solve this equation for A. So let's keep going here. 7 squared is 49. 9 squared is 81. I want to get A by itself. 49 is added to it, so I'll subtract 49 from both sides. So then I have A squared equals, then I'll have 81 minus 49, which is 32. 32 is not a perfect square. So let's follow the same directions as an example 2, and we'll round it to the nearest tenth. So I'm going to take the square root of both sides. And when I take the square root of 32 and round it to the nearest tenth, I get about 5.7 feet as an answer. Okay? And I'm rounding these to the nearest tenth. Pay attention to my math lab, because sometimes it'll say nearest tenth, sometimes it's hundredth, sometimes it's thousand. So pay attention to where you need to round to, so you don't get the right answer and then input it wrong into the homework. Okay? Hopefully this helps you guys out. Have a great week.